Well, you can't be too careful, and I tell you what, my life just got a whole lot more difficult right there. Hey guys, welcome back to the Suzuki Dual Sport build. Today I tackle the front end. So if you want to see what it took for me to swap the front end of this bike, stay tuned. So get this: handlebars, the gauge cluster, headlight, turn signals, all the controls, grips, forks, fender, everything. All this. So this needs to go there basically, and then same thing will probably have to happen to the bottom. I need to drive that bearing race out and see if that's the same size or not. If I get lucky, which I probably won't, that'll be the same size as the bottom bearing, and I can just keep this here. But then there's also the issue that this is a ½ inch short compared to the one over there. So these are the issues that I'm running into. But I don't think it's anything that I can't overcome. So let's do some figuring out on that and see if we can get this front end put on here. That would be pretty cool. Alright, so there's the top one out. So you can get the bottom one out of there. Oh, they didn't give me anything to smack on there. Okay, that's going to be an issue. Alright, so I got my 3-jaw puller in here, and I got it hooked on the inside of the bearing race there. Might just be able to tap it out like that. Let's try that. Alright, so I got it set so I can turn this screw here, and that'll force the jaws out into the bearing. Let's see if that works. That should hold it better. Alright, so I did not get lucky. Here's the bearing race out of the Suzuki for the lower. Here's the bearing race out of the Yamaha lower. To 177. To 050. And so I found this piece of pipe here. This is the lower bearing race. I'm just wondering if I can't press that in there and then turn it down square, and then shove this piece up in the bottom of this here. Wonder if that won't work. Okay, so let's see if this works. I got my bearing race inside this pipe sleeve shim whatever. I'm going to try to. Alright, I just want to see what this looks like here. I do feel the slightest little bit of movement in there. Yeah, there's a tiny bit of movement in here. I don't like that. Alright, so plan 2 here is I've got the original Suzuki bearing race chucked up here in the lathe, and I'm going to bore it out to fit the new Yamaha bearing race. And I'll press those two together and press that up in there, and that should get me where I need to go. And by the way, this is hardened bearing steel, so this should be fun to watch. Yeah, that was a must right there. Okay. So I switched to using the compound slide because it was a more rigid setup. And I left a little shoulder in here. I left a shoulder for that to butt up into, that way I'm not pushing it through. And everything should be tight now. Alright, let's see if these two pieces will tap together. I do believe they will. Alright, I'm going to take this over to the press and use the press to push those together. Alright, so now I've got the race pressed into the race. You can see the little shoulder I put on there. I just gotta wonder if anybody else on the planet has ever done anything like this. Alright, I got my bearing race here. Let's get this started up in here. Try this socket now, since this is a little bit different setup here. Sounds like it went home. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. That'll work fine. I gotta figure out what to do with the top bearing. Alright, I think what I'm going to try to do is, this is bigger than that. I need to add some length to this anyway, so I think I might bore the inside of this out to match the outside of this with a shoulder on it, so it'll sit down on there straight and centered, and that'll give me the length I need. It'll be in the center. Okay, let's try that. Alright, so I got this turned down, a little shoulder in there. Let's see if this will tap on there. Alright, so it's too long. I'm gonna have to take it down just a hair further. I'm just barely catching the thread there. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do, I can't take any more out of this. So I need to cut this down. But it needs to be square on top. So about the best thing I can think of is I got this big washer. Stick that in there. I'm gonna cut that off down to there. That'll go down 1/4 of an inch. This nut is just a hair over 1/4 of an inch. So maybe that'll give me what I need. So let's try that. Let me try cutting this. Oh boy. Well, you can't be too careful, and I tell you what, my life just got a whole lot more difficult right there. Dang it. Just one little slip and just cut all those wires. Dang it. Well, that's going to be fun. Great. Well, can't win them all. Well, it's square-ish. Hopefully that'll do. Get this back on here. Now I might have to take a little bit more off where that weld was. Alright, now let's see what we got. Would you look at that? Ain't gotta work. Alright, so that's good. I'm gonna put a weld on there to hold this piece on. But what really sucks is, damn it! 6 of them, and it grazed a couple others in there. So this is going to be a lot of fun to fix. Alright, nothing we can't handle though. Just set this back a little bit. No, seriously though, what do you think? Oh yeah. So the steering does hit the tank ever so slightly, but I haven't put a steering lock bar in here yet, so I got to do that. But I think this turned out very well. Alright, well I think that's going to do it for this episode. It really sucks about that wiring harness, but hey, what are you going to do, you know? I ain't perfect. But I really do think the bike turned out well. And believe me, there's still plenty left to do to this bike. I got to run all the wires, I got to put headlights, got to put turn signals. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more work. Of course, I'm going to be replacing all the bearings to the dog bones and probably rebuilding the rear shock. The front shocks probably need rebuilt. I'm going to do something about the seat. There's still a lot to watch here, so if you want to follow me along, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification icon, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one.